So iOS 11 was quite a massive refresh. macOS was pretty good, tvOS didn't really change much, but watchOS 4 was a big wild card also, because I had no clue what they were gonna add, but I did make a wish list for it in my WWDC wishlist video. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I feel like they saw it. They did 4 out of the 5 things I suggested they change in watchOS, and very specifically, it's kind of creepy actually that they thought of this while I was suggesting it, before. But before I talk about that, I wanted to do a quick little shout out. If you guys are interested in buying Tailosive t-shirts, we also have Apple Sheep merchandise in the links below in the description. There's Apple Sheep merch, so if you don't like my weird looking T logo, there's Apple Watch activity ring t-shirts. I love AirPods, long live USB-C and anti-headphone jack t-shirts. It's just Apple Sheep memorabilia, supports me. I'm not printing or shipping the t-shirts. They are done by Spreadshirt.com, which is this great service where anyone in the world can make their own logos, post them and print them, and they can customize them. They have a wide variety of sweatshirts, t-shirts, and stuff. Just please check them out. A lot of my fans have bought this stuff in the past. They've been very satisfied. I, for one, have been very satisfied with their service, even if they're not the cheapest t-shirts out there. They're custom made and they feel great. So anyway, shameless plugging over. The first very specific thing I suggested in watchOS was that, you see, in the old style multitasking, you could press the multitasking button on the side and scroll through your apps with the digital crown. That way you don't have to go swipe, swipe, swipe over and over again. Saves a lot of time. It's really intuitive. So I said, when we force touch our watch and we see all of our different watch faces, wouldn't it make sense that you could also scroll through those watch faces with the digital crown? That's a very oddly specific thing, and yet they did that with watchOS 4, and they didn't talk about it. This was never announced during the keynote. I just figured it out. When you want to scroll through your watch faces now, you can use the digital crown, just like I said. Now, number 2, what was the second thing I said? On Android Wear, I was never really that satisfied, but there is one feature that Android Wear has that the Apple Watch doesn't, and that is a flashlight. Sometimes when I get home late and all the lights are off and everyone's asleep, I've got stuff in my hands. I don't want to have to dig my phone out of my pocket to activate the flashlight so I can see. Now, very simply, I can just swipe up and get to that control center widget. The flashlight's just right there, and they have several options for it too. One option just makes the display incredibly bright, and it just shines very bright. You can swipe to a strobe light so that it blinks, or for some reason, I don't know why they did this, you can have a very bright red light. Maybe that's easier on the eyes or something. I don't know. But that's been really handy to me, and I didn't think they were going to add it, even though I suggested it and wished they did it. Now they have. Thank you, Apple. Number 3 was to simply add more watch faces, which I guess that's not too far-fetched. They add new watch faces with every refresh. Makes sense. I guess anyone could have predicted that. But anyway, number 4. On the last 3 versions of watchOS, and I don't understand why they had this rule, the camera remote app, it connects to your iPhone so that from your watch you can see what your phone is seeing via its cameras. However, through watchOS 1 all the way to watchOS 3, you could not record and stop recording video. You could not do time lapses. It only supported photo mode. It didn't support any other camera mode on the phone. Now with watchOS 4, and keep in mind there's no change in hardware here, just with one software update, it now supports all of those modes. Now I can start a time lapse and angle it just right. I can record and stop video. I can even look at portrait mode, which is that great cinematic feature they have on the iPhone 7. I can control that from the watch. I can zoom with the digital crown and take the picture. That's been incredibly helpful, and it honestly just kind of makes me frustrated because on watchOS 1 we didn't have this. Like when you tried to switch to video mode on your phone, the watch would just say video mode not supported, and now it works just fine. No hardware has changed, and it's not like it's a Series 2 exclusive. The first generation Apple Watch can still run watchOS 4 and this video mode option just fine. So Apple, why the heck was that grayed out? Why didn't you do that before? We had to wait like several years before our watch could make our phone start recording. That's just been really, really handy now when you have a phone on a tripod. Or for me, sometimes the front-facing camera on my iPhone is good, but clearly portrait mode and the rear-facing camera are just infinitely better than the front-facing, so I will hold my phone backwards, and now with the watch, I can angle it just right. That way, my selfies are very high quality, and they're not just using that front-facing camera, which is not as good. On the next thing, they changed, but they didn't necessarily do what I was thinking. So I guess I'm past 4 things now. Okay, this doesn't count as 4, and number 3 barely counts anyway. What I was complaining about was on watchOS 2, I could very easily have a glance on the bottom, so I could just swipe up with my nose and pause my music. That saved a lot of time, and now, since we don't have glances on the bottom of the phone anymore, we have to go to the Now Playing app, which is in multitasking. So it means I have to use my other hand to press a button, and then go to Now Playing, and then press pause. Whereas before I could go swipe, tap, and then my music would pause, if I needed to pause in a hurry. Now, of course, I have AirPods, so I can still pause pretty quickly. However, now on watchOS 4, when there's something playing, whether it be music or a YouTube video, as soon as you start it, the Now Playing tab will open, and as soon as you look at your watch, and now it still tells you the time. It's not like they ever get rid of that, but you have instant access to changing the volume, pausing it, or skipping it as soon as it's going, which I think is smart, and it makes sense because typically when you're playing music on your phone, it's nice to have that option just on your wrist if the phone's far away. I like that on watchOS 4, it defaults to that. Now overall, watchOS 4 has been really great for me. I tried the Siri watch face for a while, however, I don't feel like Siri is perfected yet in these beta developer previews. Siri still seems very slow. Also, the Siri watch face, while it looks cool, you kind of have to add a lot of reminders and calendar events for it to be functional, and I don't really do that very much. I'm not a guy to add all of these dates and reminders in my phone. That's just not what I do. But the other thing was the Siri watch face also drained my battery a lot faster. I have no idea why, but when I go back to classic watch faces, you know, just like the activity ring version, battery life is great. I finished the day at 70%. So overall, there's a ton more things about watchOS 4 that I love, but I'm not going to explain each and every one of them to you because some of them are not functional and I don't want to bore you. But I just think it's really great that Apple is listening to us, or at least me. To me, it honestly feels like Greg Federici just saw my video and said, hey, you guys, make this thing happen. Which in that case, I might make a lot more wishlist videos. Hopefully they keep listening, because my ideas are always better. You guys know it. That's why you're subscribed. I know a lot of you disagree, but you know, I don't care. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, and remember to pick up those t-shirts. Thanks, guys. Okay, see ya.